do you make adult cereal milk? A little while back, I made something called like the ultimate hot chocolate, where I use freeze distilled milk plus chocolate to make hot chocolate. Nothing else was added to it, and it's fantastic. So I thought, what if we take cereal milk, which is the process of soaking cereal with milk and then straining it, taking that milk and then freeze distilling it. I don't know how this will work, but I have a feeling it's going to be delicious. And these are the two cereals that I'm working with. Captain Crunch, which is my wife's favorite, and then this one is Cinnamon Toast Crunch, which was actually voted by you guys in the community post. I'd asked you guys what your favorite cereal was. You probably had no idea why, and it's because now I'm gonna turn this into the most epic cup of milk on the planet. And then I'm gonna take that cup of milk and I'm going to attempt to take it to my local barista and see if they'll make me a latte with it. I don't know if that's gonna work, but I'm gonna try. Okay, now let's make some adult cereal milk. Now my goal is to scientifically measure this based on vibes. And this is out of batteries. Nice. Now, if you're not a monster, you always put in the cereal first. That's what you have to do so the milk, hits the top of it and it just soaks everything up. You don't want it to be too soggy though, so you have to eat your cereal quickly. This is actual science. Are you one of those people who puts the milk in first? It's a little weird, My wife, you know what she does? She has a bowl of milk and then she gets a spoon of cereal and then she dips the cereal into the milk. It's crazy. How do you eat your cereal? I black out when I eat cereal, so I don't remember how I eat cereal usually. Now I'm gonna add some amount of this. The goal is to add enough to where the milk is totally soaking up most of the cereal. Let's see. We're gonna go with 10 ounces. This is not even, how much is left in here? Oh my God, they don't give you any cereal these days. This is $5. Then we do up the milk. That's cereal milk, baby. Now with making freeze distilled milk, I actually don't want to use all the milk. There's a reason for that. When the milk freezes, it expands. So if you fill it up too much, it's gonna blow out the top and destroy the bottle, and you don't want that to happen. So leave maybe about a quarter of the milk in the jug still and just transfer it to something else. In this case, I'm just gonna put it in this container. Easy peasy. Did I step on milk? I wanna make sure all of this cereal is completely submerged so we get all of that cinnamon sugar in there. This is going to sit for 24 hours. So I'm gonna cover this after I taste test it. We have to taste test it to make sure it tastes okay. Good. Yeah. To make sure that this is submerged, I'm gonna take a piece of plastic wrap. I'm going to press it onto the cereal to kind of help it get submerged. We want all of that in there. There we go. Yes, excellent. Now, once the cereal looks pretty submerged, I think that's pretty good. I'm gonna fully seal it and I'm gonna pop it in the fridge. This has to sit for about 24 hours and I might come back and like poke it around a little bit so this way everything gets soaked, but this is gonna be put in the other fridge. Now, let's make the Captain Crunch next. 10 ounces of Captain Crunch. I prefer peanut butter crunch, but she likes this one, so what are you gonna do? 10 ounces of cereal. There's so little cereal in these days, it's just so bad. Good old nostalgia taste test. Captain Crunch is still delicious. Milk time. This is just my average cereal bowl from when I was like 13 years old. This is how I ate cereal. It wasn't healthy, but it was delicious. I got about a quarter left. Just gonna add this to here. Give this a nice poke, make sure it's all submerged. Don't want any dry bits of cereal, what's the point? The one thing I haven't thought of is what do I do with all this cereal after I've strained it? Maybe we come up with something new? A cheesecake maybe? Could be fun. I don't know how that'll work, but we might try it. Give it a taste test, make sure it's good. Childhood. It's bad that most of my childhood was sugar laden, but it's childhood. Doing the same thing here. I'm gonna make sure that this is pressed down with a bit of plastic. You can also do this in a taller container, so that way most of the cereal does stay submerged and there's less surface area, but I don't have a giant container for all of this cereal milk. I probably didn't need to do this big of a thing, but I had to buy I needed the 2 plastic jugs. So we're gonna have so much cereal milk. Maybe ice cream? There's an idea. But no, we have to take this to the barista and see if they'll do it for us. Gandalf, what's up, buddy? Hi, is this cereal milk? You can't have cereal milk, there's so much sugar. Now this is also going in the fridge for 24 hours. So I'll see you tomorrow when I have to strain it all, and then we have to freeze it for 24 hours. So this is a very adult drink, okay? You need time to make this. You need a significant amount of time to make this, okay? Just let me experiment, okay? 2 giant bowls of cereal. Gandalf, don't drink the milk, please. Time has passed. It's been 24 hours since I threw this cereal milk into the fridge, and now I need to strain it and get as much of that milk out of that cereal as possible. I'm gonna start off with this Captain Crunch. And this thing, the milk, when I was moving it around a little bit, already looks thick because there's so much sugar and starch in this now. So I'm really curious as to how this freezes and how it distills later. Like, look at the plastic. The milk is just, the residue is just stuck. It's amazing. Oh my God, that's just sugar. Like, look at, God, the kid in me right now, dude. This kind of built a raft in a weird way. It luckily looks like most of the cereal had soaked into it because it's all really mushy. So if I grab it out, take a little piece of it, this is just like the stuff that you wouldn't want. I liked it mushy, so you know, you do you, boo. Now, of course, we have to do the taste test because we don't know what it tastes like. Oh my God, that's just childhood, isn't it? That's just, yep. Let's strain this before I just eat this. Now to strain this, I am using a fresh piece of cheesecloth because the other cheesecloth that I have, I use for cold brew. So just in case, you know, I don't want anything to get weird here, but I'm gonna strain the Captain Crunch first because it's the most neutral. And then I'm gonna use the same cheesecloth to strain the Cinnamon Toast Crunch because it has a bunch of cinnamon sugar in it. Got myself a handy ladle, and then I'm also gonna do this. Just to make it a bit easier, I'm gonna double strain. So we're gonna use a strainer going into the, that doesn't make sense, does it? No, it does not. What? We should have just strained it into here, into the thing, and then cheesecloth. We're ready here. The other part of this is that I have quite a bit of milk, but my container that I'm straining into only holds about 32 ounces. See, this is silly. See, yep, this is not, there's no point to this because I have to get all of this milk out of here. Oh, this is gonna be an absolute mess, but I'm here for it. Move this to the side. I'm gonna do this in parts. I'm gonna take this, gather it like the magic, and then just, yep. Probably should have got a glove too. What is happening today? I'm just gonna, just for a second, let me go get a glove. Now I can squeeze all of that excess liquid, because look at how much liquid is coming out of this by barely squeezing it. That's why you want to strain it this way. But I also now no longer need this. And I'm just gonna, yep, oh my God, there's so much in here. This is gonna take a while. The one thing I don't want to happen is for some of the cereal to come through, because if that happens, I don't know how it's gonna freeze. I mean, that looks pretty solid. I'm putting a good amount of force into this and nothing else is coming out, so I'm gonna call it at that, but now I need to put this into something, because honestly, I don't wanna waste the cereal either. What I'm thinking is maybe we turn this cereal into a crust for like a cheesecake. That could be weird. Stay tuned for that. Now I have all of this mush. Look at it, it just looks like, I don't know what the baby food maybe. It tastes like unsweetened Captain Crunch, which is really weird now. So that means most of the sugar is probably in this stuff. That's some cereal milk, dude, holy crap. Okay, now I'm gonna pour this into here and I'm gonna repeat the process for both cereals. Do I need to show you this? Because this is gonna take me like 30 minutes. For the Cinnamon Toast Crunch, I think I'm gonna try it slightly different, not too different. What I'm gonna do first is I am gonna strain the majority of this into here so it's not so much of a mess. I learned my lesson from the Captain Crunch. So first, we go cereal and milk into this container. And then I put it into the cheesecloth and then strain out that. Hopefully, this looks like not a lot of milk. This Captain Crunch gave me 1/4 gallon. So it really does not yield a lot. And then that is going to be distilled even further down. This is gonna be so fun. I can't wait to turn this into a latte. Make sure we taste test for prosperity. That's my favorite milk. That is so good. I had a chef in culinary school named Chef Cochran. He was our French instructor, French cuisine instructor. And he always told us that things like demi-glace, which is basically a reduced beef stock that's turned into a sauce with a bunch of other stuff, you're reducing it from, let's say, 50 gallons, like I used to do in hotels, to about 5 gallons. He always said that demi-glace was basically liquid gold because of how expensive it is, not only for material, but for time. So you never wanted to waste demi-glace. I feel like that this is kind of the same, you know, almost as, it's my demi-glace, okay? I don't wanna waste any of this if I can. The cereal itself though, looks weird, man. That looks like tofu skins, which I also love. That tastes like wheat with some cinnamon left on it, which is really interesting because now most of the sugar is in here. I've already talked about distilling it. I'm just very hyped for this, okay? Now I'm gonna take my cheesecloth like I did earlier for the Captain Crunch, put this cinnamon toast crunch, there's a lot of crunch happening today, into the cheesecloth, then put this other cereal part. Oh my God, so much cereal. So remember, this is about a box of cereal going into this. It's crazy. Then do the same thing, gather the cheesecloth so you can venture into the dungeon. How much are we gonna get out of here? Oh, it's poking through the top. Oh yeah, baby. Look at all that. I was able to get that much more from straining it. Not too much more, but it's, you know, it all counts, right? Make sure I label each one so I know this one is sin, this one is cap, and now this is my cereal milk. This is your basic cereal milk. You can send this to your favorite person. Well, maybe not because then you'd have to refrigerate. You can give this to your favorite person and it would be a delicious little treat. But now we have to take it further beyond because I think you have to push things further until they break. Then once they break, you figure out why they break and then you fix it and then you keep pushing. So this goes in the freezer to distill it. So this is 24 more hours and then probably another 24 hours after that. Now it's been 48 hours since I put the milks back in the jugs, and the reason for that is it had to go a little bit longer because now there's much more sugar introduced into the milk. When I was making ice cream for Salt and Straw, I had learned that the fat content and the sugar content is what really prevents milks from freezing too much. That's how you get that really nice creaminess for that ice cream. It's kind of the same here. Now there isn't a ton of fat in here, it's just whole milk, but there is a ton of sugar now, so it had to freeze for longer. Normally, when I'm making freeze distilled milk, I can just freeze it overnight and it's usually fine, but because of the added sugars from the massive amount of cereal in here, I had to freeze it for 2 days. It's still kind of soft, so now we have to do the freeze distilling process, which isn't very complicated at this point. And I still can't believe there's basically a box of cereal in each of these. That's crazy. Now here's how I did it last time. I take two 32-ounce deli containers, and the reason why I'm using these is because it's large enough to capture the amount of milk that's going to distill out of here. Let me explain a little bit further while I set these up. When you freeze distill milk, what's going to happen is we're going to turn this upside down and literally leave it like this in the fridge. And as this starts to defrost, the sugars and the fats will distill first and defrost first, dripping down into this container, leaving nothing potentially but ice behind, which is the frozen water solids. Then what we should have is the thickest, sweetest, creamiest cereal milk we have ever had in our lives, and I am going to try to take it to my local barista to make me a latte with it, which I'm so excited about. I hope this happens. Does this take a long time? Yes, but this is the experiment video. We get to experiment with things that maybe are not practical, but that are incredibly fun, and if they work, will be incredibly delicious. Now I'm gonna set these in my other fridge, because this fridge doesn't have any room because it's filled with condiments. I'm gonna put these in the other fridge for about 8 to 10 hours, and it's 8 a.m. now, so maybe I'll come back tonight to see what this looks like. And this, my friends, is about 10 hours of distilling. It's 6:30 p.m. I started this at 8:30 a.m. and I wanna show you how much milk I've gotten out of each of these containers, and it's really not a lot. Remember, we started with about a half gallon of milk, and what I didn't mention is that, remember earlier in the video where I took some of the milk out to put back into this? I actually put that back into the cereal because the yield was so low, so I ended up soaking the box of cereal with a half gallon of milk. I didn't actually save any milk on the side, so this has all of that. That being said, we are going from 32 ounces of milk, 64 ounces of milk, half gallon, to this. This is 16 ounces. This is 2 cups of cereal milk. Really not a lot, but I have to show you the viscosity. It looks like the cinnamon toast crunch yielded just slightly more, but I think I'm gonna do a second distill. Think of this as like a first press of olive oil and then a second press of olive oil. The first press is extra virgin, where you press it and you get the really good oil, but then you can press it again and get olive oil, I think. There's multiple presses. You get it. This is going to be hard to see, but on this container, I don't want to cut it yet because I still want this milk. I'll show you what it looks like after. It basically looks like a white ice on the inside. Maybe you can see the inside of that. There's a little bit of cream left on the inside, but this is very, very small amounts of this. So to yield even more, what I'm actually gonna do is instead of distilling it right now because it is 6:30 p.m. and then I don't wanna worry about getting it in the middle of the night, I'm gonna put these back in the freezer as is, and then in the morning, I'll distill it one more time while I'm home so I can pay attention to it. Yes, this is a laborious process, but these milks look insane. We're gonna taste test this right now, and then I'm gonna take some of this to the coffee shop in the morning to see if they'll make me that latte. Now this is obviously hard to tell on camera. I'm gonna do my best to show you what this milk kind of looks like. This is the Captain Crunch milk, and it basically looks like cream. It's kind of insane. Like when I put my spoon into it, there's some resistance. This looks like the base you would use for ice cream. But the base for ice cream typically has maybe xanthan gum or egg in it for a thickener, and it uses a higher fat milk like we used at Salt and Straw. But this is just whole milk and cereal. I have to try this. Now remember, the reason why it looks like this is because when you freeze distill, the fats and the sugars start melting or defrosting first, leaving the water solids behind, which is still what's in those containers. The second distill is gonna get a little bit more, but this looks like cream. Look at this. Can you see that jiggle and that shine? It's almost glossy. Oh, okay, this is the Captain Crunch. Cheers. Holy crap. It tastes like Captain Crunch, but it's really rich. Rachel's snapping at me because she's like, me please. Hold on, I wanna show you what the container looks like. Look at when I rotate it, how fatty that is. It's basically drinking heavy cream. That's what this tastes like. I'm gonna bring some, you want Captain Crunch? You wanna try the Captain Crunch? Okay, I'm gonna bring some over to Rachel. Hold on, let's see what her take is.
Holy shit.
Right? Doesn't that just taste like cream? It's a long process, but you're gonna impress anyone that you're gonna give this to. This is so good. Now we're gonna try the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That's the one I'm really excited about. Give this a nice stir, because the cinnamon kind of floated to the top. This one admittedly looks a little thinner than the Captain Crunch, but not by much, which is interesting because usually cinnamon can thicken things up. So let's see what this one tastes like. Do one of these. Oh my God. Look at the gloss and the glisten on this one too. The cinnamon floating on top. It smells like Snickerdoodle, which is one of my favorite things. Cheers. Whoa, this one's so much better, dude. The Cinnamon Toast Crunch. We had an ice cream at Salt and Straw called Snickerdoodle. One of my favorite ice creams. I actually ate way too many of the Snickerdoodle little cookies that we would make and put in there. It's a really fantastic ice cream, and it used a ton of cinnamon. This tastes better than that, which is crazy to me considering it's basically cereal and milk. I'm gonna give this to Rachel and see what she says. I could drink this, not be happy about it after.
You know what that tastes like? A cinnamon roll in milk form.
Oh my God. I don't know if you heard that, but Rachel said this tastes like a cinnamon roll in milk form, and now I'm very excited to have this latte made. So this is my first press. I'm gonna put these in the fridge and I'll take it over to the coffee shop tomorrow and see what they say. This is fun. It doesn't yield a lot. This costs about $10 for 16 ounces of milk, maybe $8. I think it was $6 for the box of cereal and then like $3. Yeah, $8 to $9 for this. Worth it, so fun. Okay, I'm gonna take these to the coffee shop. I'm so excited. They made them for me. I'm so excited to try this. Hold on. Okay, so I have two drinks, okay? We made two different versions. This is the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That's a latte, it's a hot latte. And then this is just 2 shots of espresso. I'm gonna put the Captain Crunch on here cold. I'm gonna taste Cinnamon Toast Crunch first. And this is a lot of caffeine. So I'm gonna have this and also go to the gym. But I wanted to share this with you guys because this is so fun to me. Now the first thing is I wanna see what this looks like after it's been steamed. Okay, it looks like a normal latte, which I'm very curious. It's still pretty glistening though. You can see there's like quite a bit of body on top. See what it smells like? Oh, it smells like you took a Snickerdoodle cookie and you dipped it in your espresso. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Cheers. That probably the best latte I've ever had in my life. I am not even exaggerating. Oh, it has this beautiful, really rich consistency. It's not overly sweet from the milk itself or the cereal milk, which I'm very surprised by. This is fantastic. I can see why they use this style milk at the World Barista Championships. And I'm actually going to be going to Gilder Coffee over here in Portland, where fellow creator Morgan Eckroth is going to be displaying and serving her different drinks she's serving at the World Barista Championship. So I'm gonna go taste test those. I'm so excited to see what she's created on the menu. This is so good. But now it's time to try Captain Crunch. The reason why I chose to heat up the Cinnamon Toast Crunch and not the Captain Crunch is because I think the cinnamon heated is really, really nice, but the Captain Crunch cold is probably going to be fantastic. That just looks like heavy cream. That's just, that's just what that looks like. You wouldn't be able to tell that this is a 4-day process to make this. Let's give this a taste. The espresso itself, because it's bitter, mellows out the sweetness, which I think is really, really good. And it balances the drink more than I thought it would. I love this. This is probably my favorite way of having coffee now, and I feel like I'm gonna be spoiled into wanting to make this all the time, but it takes a long time. Is it worth it? I do think doing this is worth it to at least try. And you saw how easy the process was. It just takes a little bit of time. I encourage you guys to go try new things, play around with your food like I always say, and that way maybe you'll discover something you truly love and maybe make every once in a while. Now, I have some caffeine to drink, and I'll see you in the next one. My name is Paul, and remember, keep playing with your food. This is so good. I'm just gonna, 4 shots of espresso. What am I doing with my life?